Hi, I'm John McAuliffe, Chief Marketing Officer of VFM Leonardo, and welcome to VTV. VTV has been produced for hotel e-commerce, marketing, and sales professionals to provide insights, knowledge, and learning from industry experts on how to extract more value from a hotel's presence on the internet. Each week, I will interview an industry expert on a single topic. We have discovered many of these topics from industry people like yourself and encourage you to let us know if there's a topic you would like to see on future episodes of VTV. You can email us at vtv@vfmleonardo.com and make your suggestion anytime. Welcome to today's episode. Our topic today is how to leverage content online, and I am joined by Laurence Bernstein. Laurence is the managing partner of the Bay Charles Consulting Company. He has been a leading proponent of the new order of differentiation and has written and lectured on the subject of experiential branding and intrinsic and extrinsic research methodologies in Canada, the US, and China. Laurence is a graduate of Cornell University and is a member of the Cornell University Trustee Council and the Cornell Arts Committee. He has worked for major hotel brands and advertising agencies on projects designed for growth by understanding and delivering meaningful experiences. He is a prolific blogger on various subjects, including a number of articles on understanding and amplifying guest experiences in hotels. Laurence, welcome to VTV, and thank you for joining us.
It's great to be back, John.
Laurence, our topic today is how to leverage content online. Of course, we hear a lot about online content these days, but in the context of hotel properties and online travel websites, what is online content and how does it relate to the marketing of a hotel?
I guess it's in this day and age, John, that's like how long is a piece of string. Online content, as far as the consumer is concerned, is any content about the property or the hotel that they can access online. I think from a business point of view, it's important to note that there are probably two groups of online content. The first is the group of online content that you can control, and then the second is the online content that is consumer generated or guest generated, and that you really have very little control over. More and more, that second kind of online content is becoming operative as people join social networking sites and are beginning to use these to help each other make decisions about how to live their lives and what products to buy and where to stay. Online content that you can control is are the listings and advertising that you can do largely on online travel agent sites and online travel advisory sites.
So it's interesting that you've divided that into two real buckets of content, as you said, that you can and that you can't control, and the can't control being largely user-generated content. So I would assume that as a hotelier, your view of how you use that content to leverage your differentiation or your presence on the internet would be different. Can you tell us what the successful hoteliers are doing to leverage the content driven by social media sites?
One of the, I guess the answer to that question is you have to be willing to accept that people will say what they will say, and you have to be reasonably comfortable with a couple of things about that. One is that people are not always going to say positive things about you. And the second is that it doesn't always really matter that much whether people say positive things about you or not. The very fact that people are taking the time to comment is always good. It shows that they have some level of involvement. There's not much that you can do in terms of influencing a one-on-one kind of interaction. If I ask my friend on Facebook whether they enjoyed staying at the ABC Hotel, there's not much the ABC Hotel can do to influence that particular interaction. But if I go to Facebook and I Google ABC, I search for ABC Hotel, I would hope that in addition to the comments that have been generated by the clients, that the ABC Hotel would have their own Facebook site on which they would be able to give a more positive view of the hotel. And bear in mind that authenticity in this day and age is absolutely everything. But people do expect that on a Facebook site that is, that is the ABC Hotel site, that the slant is going to be the ABC Hotel. So there's no desperate need to make sure that that content looks or feels like it's user-generated. What a wise hotel does is they make sure that the content on that site will address any negative content that they're picking up for what people are saying about them as they go through. There are some companies that do analyses of online content and what people are saying about the hotel or about any individual product and so on, and can give you measurements as to how far this is going and what the potential negative impact of it is. But my sense is that hotels, specifically the hotel business, are way too sensitive to all of this and are way too concerned that if somebody says something negative about them, they need to take some kind of corrective action.
So it sounds to me that what you're saying is that the stories that users are generating about your hotels, although important and it's good that they are actually interacting enough to be able to tell stories about your hotel, that they don't always matter as much as one might think they do. But what really matters is where those stories are being told, the hotels should also ensure that they have the ability to tell their story to the travel shopper as well.
Yeah, I don't think I could have said it better, although I did try.
Is there, on that note, Laurence, is there any way that you would help a hotel understand how to translate what people are saying about it and then be able to re-articulate their story to address some of the things being said, perhaps negatively, but maybe also positively about them in the user-generated content?
Yeah, and again, this refers back to, and if any of your viewers saw the previous discussion about experiential branding, it really goes back to trying to understand what is actually going on in people's minds. If we take a negative comment, let's say, for instance, that we pick up through whatever methodology we have that there are some comments about the elevators being slow in the hotel. And we find that there are, say, 7 or 8 negative comments in various places on the internet about the elevators in the hotel being slow. The answer is not to deal with the people who found the elevator slow. The answer really is to find out whether the elevator is slow. And if it is, then to take a slightly different point of view and say, well, most people are not complaining about the elevators being slow. So what is it that is happening that is causing these people to complain? What is it about the experience that they are looking for that is being interrupted by the slowness of the elevator? And is there something that we as a hotel can do to mitigate that? In one particular case, where the elevators in the hotel are slow and people do complain, the reason we found out was that people who do complain are people who have a very specific time constraint. And it's easy enough when people check into the hotel to say to them, do you have a very early meeting tomorrow? Because we sometimes find that the elevators may be a little slower, and what we would like to do is put you onto a lower floor to ensure that you're on time. This would prevent people from actually being surprised by the slow elevator and prevent the elevators from actually having a negative impact on the brand experience or ultimately on the way they evaluate that hotel or talk about it. That's
very interesting, Laurence. It seems like the answer to creating your story as a hotelier is really driving or drilling down as to why people are saying what they're saying about you and getting at the underlying cause to either their criticism or possibly their compliment. Very insightful. Thank you again for joining us on VTV and sharing your knowledge with us.
Great being here again, John. Have a great afternoon.
To all the viewers out there, be sure to visit vtv.vfmleonardo.com and post your comments. Tune in next week for more from another industry expert.